Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Happy Friday. Let me go ahead and set up this room real quick and then we can get started. Market opens in about 6 minutes. So let's see. Got this set up right here. There. So today is July 16th. I'll set up right here. All right, while I get set up right there, I'm gonna go ahead and send out the Zoom link to you guys here in the premium. There we go. In real quick, and once I let you guys in, I'm gonna go ahead and let people in as well. All right, cool. People are making their way in right now. All right, we got about 5 minutes to market open, so you have some time. Let me go ahead and send this other link out to you guys here as well for the YouTube. All right. All right, cool. Looks solid. So let me go ahead and see what we got over here. So we got about 4 minutes till market opens. Looking on the technical side, everything looks pretty bullish. Looking on the 1 hour, it's bullish. It's at the all-time high. I think I mentioned to you guys yesterday, it's probably gonna reach the all-time high by today. And it did. Went perfectly up, right? So that's looking good right there. The 10-minute looks good too. It's also bullish. 3 minutes also bullish. 1 minute's also bullish as well. So everything looks pretty bullish here. Looking over at the futures data, it's also bullish, 87 points up. Looking over market sentiment, retail traders are 71% short, so this is perfect. I think it's going to break the all-time high today. We just got to confirm it once the fundamentals opened up over here. But looking at the futures data, it looks like it'll probably be going up. I mean, the only risk right here is that we're really close to the all-time high. Let me just go get the all-time high real quick here on the 1 hour. All-time high is at about 53,103. So I'm just gonna put that up on the so you're gonna see 53,103. Wait, no, it's all right. Oh, 35,103. Sorry, 35,103. Numbers all off. 35,103. See how close is it? It's actually really close. So it's only it's about under 300 pips from the all-time high. So this is going to be pretty risky. I don't know if I'll take this buy here. I think what's going to happen on open is price is probably going to come down and then it's going to shoot back up. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see what happens from there. We got 2 minutes till market open, about 1:20. Looking at the fundamentals over here, we're going to see what happens on the actual index over here. And then we're also going to compare with the daily and see if everything here is pretty much bullish. But we're definitely looking for a bullish move. Reason for that is, because the sentiment is low, the biases are up. So we want to definitely trade opposite of the retail traders. We also want to trade in the direction of the, the confirmations as well. So good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Let's wrap up this week pretty strong. I'm gonna see if we'll take this trade here. If not, let's wait for the we'll just wait for any possible scalps after, but we're probably not going to be on for that long. Let me check the news over here. Yeah, we just had news at 5:30. It was core retail sales. We have preliminary consumer sentiment at 7. So, I'm probably just gonna be looking for this breakout. After this breakout, I'm probably be done for the day. But yeah, looking at this right here, it's really close to the all-time high. This red line right here is the all-time high. If it breaks it, then it breaks it, and that's gonna be it. So we'll see what happens from here, but it's gonna be a bit tricky because it is gonna be breaking the all-time high. Yeah, it played out exactly how we mentioned from was it Monday, because we were all waiting for it to reach the all-time high, and then we kept drawing it, and then here we are. We're already at this point. So let's see what happens from here. Market is now open. See what the fundamentals are looking like. Fundamentals are up 100 points, so everything is pointing towards the upside. We would just need a confirmation of a strong bullish candle in order to enter this trade here. It's got to close with a strong green candle with like little to no wick. If there's a wick there, I'm not going to take it because we're probably going to get caught in some fake outs. Look at this huge fake out right here. They're pushing it down, and what I anticipate happening here is they're going to lure in some sellers. People are going to think, oh, it's at an all-time high, it has to drop, right? But at that, in reality, it's probably not going to drop that far. So yeah, it looks like it's going to drop heavy right here. But I'm going to draw this as a liquidity area because I can already see whoever's entering the sell right here, they're going to place their stop loss right above this area. So when price reaches that area, we could probably hop in, catch that liquidity spike up. I'm probably going to catch it for like 100 pips or so. I'm not going to go too high with it. Yeah, see that right there? Huge manipulated move. Obviously, they're going to drop it because there's more retail traders on the sell side. But looking at the fundamentals over here, everything's pretty green. It's green here. The stock index right here for the Dow 30 is pretty green as well. There's only like about 3 stocks that are red, and they're not even very red. They're only down like a 0.02 point. So we'll see what happens from here. I'm not going to mess with this. It is, like I mentioned, it is at an all-time high. So with it being at an all-time high, it's a risky area because a lot of retail traders are going to try to cash the high. So they're probably anticipating, oh, this is at an all-time high. It's going to have to drop, right? It's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to go the opposite way. It's going to shoot up even higher. So let's see. We're 2 minutes in almost. So if we don't get this breakout entry in the next 4 minutes or so, then we're probably going to skip the breakout, maybe look for some scalps if possible. But today is Friday, and there's also news coming up at 7. So, we'll have to gauge our analysis and see if it's even worth trading after the breakout, if it doesn't even happen here. So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, we got 3 minutes till 6:35. If it doesn't happen at 6:35, we're not going to take it because the news is coming up in about 30 minutes or so, or less than 30 minutes, about 28 minutes to be exact. All right, so let's see what's going on over here. Yeah, I'm not going to get caught in this fake out here at all. I'm going to wait for it. And then as it continues to drop even further, I'm going to keep marking up like where the liquidity zones are that I'm anticipating, so that when it does come back up, we could probably expect it to shoot up even farther. But let's see what happens from here. All right, going back to the fundamentals over here. Let me just refresh this. Yeah, fundamentals are still up 65 points for the day. Futures are still up 87 points for the day. Yeah, even right here, the news from the Dow, it shows Dow jumps above 35,000 as retail sales top expectations. So the news for US 30 is good. So, it doesn't make sense for it to drop right here. The only reason for it to make sense for it to drop here is that it is market manipulation, right? Because they want to keep stacking in some more sellers. What I see happening here is I see this number increasing. Once it increases a little bit higher, maybe to 75, 74, somewhere around there, then they're going to spike it up. But I think right now they're just luring in some more sellers. They're trapping some more sellers in here. And then when you least expect it, it's just going to skyrocket all the way up. So just looking at how price is moving right now, I don't think we're going to have a breakout entry, which is completely fine. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my alerts, and we're going to see if we could find some actual scalp entries, along the way. So looking at this right here, we got this set up here at the 3 minute. Obviously, you can see everything is kind of just bouncing around. And looking at this here on the 10 minute, you can see it came down, rejected off the pivot perfectly right there. Like I was mentioning before, guys, after this opening candle, there's still a lot of time in this candle right here. So this candle hasn't finished yet. This candle closes in about 6 minutes. Once this candle closes, if it closes below here, say if it closes down here, right? Price is going to do one of two things. It's going to come back up to where it originally was, and it was originally right there, or it's going to continue pushing down even further, right? One or the other. My guess is that it's going to come down, and then after it's going to come all the way back up. So I might just try to catch that for a speculative buy. It's probably not going to be an official entry because, you know, there's not going to be a strategy to follow. But just from my perspective, you know, I would expect it to bounce right back up. So we'll see what happens from here. We got about 5 minutes left on this candle, so we got a lot of time on here. You can see right here, just rejected off the all-time high. You know, this is basically what they're doing right here. They're trying to trap more sellers. Because if you see this right here, like say if you're just a normal trader, you're on the 1 hour and you see this rejection off the all-time high, what would you expect? You'd hop into that sell, right? Because you think it's going to reverse back down further. But we're not going to fall for that because that's where all the retail traders are. So let's go ahead and wait for this. Once we get this going right here, we'll, you know, we'll see what goes from here. But yeah, definitely, I don't recommend entering a sell at all, guys. So if you guys are thinking about entering a sell, I highly do not recommend entering a sell because this looks like a straight up trap right here. All right, let me just scroll up real quick. Let me just see all the messages since we're just gonna be waiting for that confirmation. And morning, Kip, morning, Kyle, morning, Angela, morning, Martin, morning, Taryn, morning, Matt, morning, Carrie, morning, Miles, morning, Sabra, morning, Delmas, morning, Josh, morning, Steven, morning, Paul. Yeah, guys, exactly right. It you know, Josh mentioned that there's 71% short. Paul also mentioned I knew the market makers would drop price, put a sell right at the open at the 9:30 candle, made about 2,500. Nice work, Paul. Yeah, you caught that pretty nicely. And that's pretty much what we anticipated as well, right? I was mentioning that if we don't get that kind of confirmation of the bullish signal or bullish candle, we wouldn't take the trade. And, you know, it never came. So that's why we didn't take it. But I could probably see it coming back up. You know, we're just going to wait for a bit. Hey, Jello Shop. Morning. You said good night. Yeah, I'm assuming you're on the opposite time over there. Morning, Peter. Hey, morning, Byron. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Riga. Morning, Joseph. Morning, Active. Morning, everybody. So let's see. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen from here. C6 said this is going to be fun. Yeah, you know, the fun part about this is just waiting for it to swing back up. As it swings back up, it's going to be fun because you're kind of good because we're already anticipating it to reverse. And all the retail traders are short. So, you know, C6 means it's kind of fun because it's going to be fun, like watching people over here getting stopped out. So we'll see what happens from here. 19178 is asking, why is it a trap, Shawn? It's a trap because the retail traders are short, right? See all the retail traders are short right here. How do you think market makers and institutions make money? They don't make money by letting these people win. They make money by stopping these people out. So as this number continues to grow, it's like 71%. As more retail traders try to hop onto this, like they bandwagon onto this trade, right? They see it dropping. They're like, oh, it's going to have to drop. As this number increases to like 74, 75, 76%, up to 80%, and all the retail traders get trapped in that sell, as soon as there's enough sellers in there, what do you think is going to happen with the market makers? You're going to reverse price and shoot it all the way up to the all-time high. And with that said, all these people end up getting stopped out. And who makes money when the retail traders get stopped out? The market makers and institutions, right? Because they trade opposite. Generally, they trade opposite of retail traders because majority of retail traders, you know, suck at trading. So, you know, it's all part of the game. You'll see right here, this might be the low established right here. This might be the low. So, you know, just anticipate and see what's going on from here. So if this shoots up right here, you're going to see this number start to decrease because these retail traders are going to get stopped out. This is basically the number of the percentage of people who are short in the market, but we'll see what happens from here. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to shoot up yet. What could happen here is this might come up. So there's two scenarios that can come out right here. From this area, price can shoot up and do a full reversal, or number two, price can come up slightly, then drop even further to stack some more sells. And as people get stopped, as these people stack more sells in there, wherever the swing happened right here will be the next area of liquidity. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. I don't know if you've been following the previous sessions, but looking at this right here, if this ends up being established as a lower high, then they're going to stack some more sells here. And then as they stack some more sells, this is going to be an area of liquidity because whoever enters the sells from down here, their stop loss is going to be placed right here. So let's let's see what happens from here. But yeah, there's no confirmation of what's happening yet. Once we have that confirmation, then we'll know exactly where price is going to be going. But right now, this is the only area of liquidity that I can see on my own chart right now. I think I'd prefer to look on the 3-minute actually because it's more accurate, but we'll use both just to see what's going on from here. All right. So we'll see what happens from here. Yeah, you can see that chart on IG. Just search up US 30 IG sentiment. You can see where all the retail traders are. The stocks are the stocks are kind of turning red. Fahad, he just mentioned the stocks are turning red. They're starting to turn red, but majority of them are still green, I think. Yeah. So you can see Microsoft is up 2 points, Home Depot is up 2 points, Salesforce is up barely about 2 points, Amgen's up 1.2. The red stocks right here, they're just like slightly red. They're like not even red a point. The only one that's down is Goldman Sachs, but that's just one, and I don't think it's going to cover the entire one there. So looking at this here on the 10-minute, this candle has closed. One of two things can happen right now at this point. Price will either come back to where it originally was, or it will continue to drop further. If you guys have been following the live sessions, this is pretty much where this is pretty much what we've been looking at for the past couple of days because the market has been kind of iffy. But we'll see what happens from here. We don't keep our bias in one direction. We change it as we get those confirmations. But right now, everything's still looking like it's going to swing up. Like I definitely would not enter any sells because I feel that it's preparing for a reversal. So as you can see right here, it went down to 70%, right? It was at 71, 72%. The reason why it went to 70% is because a lot of people here got stopped out when it swung back up. So when it swung back up right here, it stopped out some people. But now that it stopped out some people, I could probably see some more sellers hopping in. So let's see what happens from here. But yeah, I'm done with the breakout. I'm not going to be taking it today. We're me looking for some possible scalps if possible, but there is news coming up in about 11 minutes, I believe. Let me check. Or 19 minutes. We've got medium news, which is right here, preliminary UOM consumer sentiment. With this news coming up, I'm probably not going to really want to risk very much. I do want to take some scalps, at least 1 or 2 scalps. I did make some profit yesterday. Let me just post my profits here on all my accounts. I actually made a couple decent lock-ins over here. So let me just take this right here. Yeah, majority of you guys did pretty solid so far. I think all my accounts are pretty much the same. So there's like really no reason for me to screenshot all of them. Actually, these. Okay, I see. All right, so I'll send you guys my profits from this morning where I took the other one. Some of you guys did take some other trades as well. So let me just send you guys my profits because I was scalping last night. I just took a couple trades. That wasn't really that much. Let me just send you guys this right here. 550. All right, I got my alerts on, so we're just waiting for this anyways. Nothing too crazy. All right. So these are like my different accounts here that I have. I have like 3 funding talents. So actually it's these 3 plus 2 more where they got about the same profits. Just edit it. Oh, it's over here. Yeah. Scalps. All right. So let me just show you guys right here. This is what I made last night because I kind of just took a couple of trades. I just don't want to screenshot everything because all my funding telling accounts have the same profit anyways. But yeah, this is my funding talent. You can tell because of the symbol. It's .US30 cash right here, and it's a 5 lot because it's only a 100K account. So I made about 510 on this account. There's 3 of these that I have. So I'm running the 3 challenges right now, trying to get funded on that, and then merging it into a 300K. So for this right here, I made about 510. Times 3, that's about 1500. This is one of my FTMOs. I made about 560 on this one, or 550. And then on my other FTMO, I made 750 off this. So if you just add that stuff up, it's this is pretty much what I made for those. See, 510 times 3 for the 3 funding talents. My other FTMO right here, plus 550, plus the other one 750. So that's pretty much where I'm sitting for this morning. And I was hoping to catch another scalp just so I could bump it up a little more. But, this is why I'm not really too inclined to take any risky trades, because I'm already up pretty decent for the day of about 2,830 combined of all my accounts. But if I see something good here, I'm going to take it, right? I'm still looking for that buy because what I see here is that when price does swing, it's probably going to provide for a liquidity grab, because that's where pretty much all these retail traders are placing their stop losses. So you can see right here, it's 69%. As it bounces around, people are pulling out of the trade or they're getting stopped out because they're anticipating that reversal to happen. What I see right here is they're still trying to trap more sellers, but the thing is, these sellers are starting to realize that it's probably going to reverse at this point or at some point soon. So that's why they're starting to jump ship. 69% right here. Still just waiting for some sort of confirmation here. You can see the fundamentals are still up 52 points. Same here, the stock market, well, not the stock market, but the index for the Dow 30 is still pretty high. The only stock that's really red is Goldman Sachs. Everything else is pretty green for the most part, and these are barely red at all. There you go. It's starting to shift back up. It's reaching that area of liquidity that I just talked to you guys about right here, right? I mentioned that if price closes above this area, or if it crosses above this area, it's an area of liquidity because that's where their stop losses are placed, these retail traders right here. So as price reaches this point, you're going to see some sort of volatility spike to the upside right here. And that's pretty much what we've been waiting for. Yeah, exactly, Joshua. Exactly. That's exactly what I was looking at too. Joshua said buy confirmation right now. In the 1 minute, we're about to see a swing to the upside. Called it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for too. So it's looking good right there. Let's see. Nico said 10-minute snipe. Yeah, technically this would be a 10-minute snipe right here. Nico, I'm personally not going to take it. I'm looking on the shorter time frames to possibly catch some moves in here. But yeah, that is a 10-minute spike right there. So it's possibly going to swing up further from that point, but we'll see what happens from here. There's no confirmation yet. This candle still has about 2 minutes left. If this candle right here closes bullish, then I'm anticipating it to shoot up to the upside. Because, like I marked up right here, this following candle will do one of two things. It'll either correct back to where it was originally right here before market open, or it'll continue dropping. So we'll see in 2 minutes on this 10-minute to see how it's moving. This is technically an entry, but it's not one that I recommend. It's a risky trade. Looking on the 3-minute, it's still bouncing around that area too. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, exactly, Paul. Paul said smaller consolidation inside larger consolidation. I agree. Nice. Sisu said he's up at 2,980. Gonna call it. Good luck, everyone. Have a great weekend. Definitely, Sisu. Nice. Looks like Tiana took some trades here. Tiana took some trades, made about 380 over here. Nice work, Tiana. Nice work, Tam, too. So Tam took a couple sells right there as well. So a lot of you guys caught the drop down over here, but you guys caught it for a quick move because technically this entry right here would have been a snipe. So this right here would have been a snipe, and you guys could have caught that for a quick little move downwards. I didn't take it obviously because I don't want to risk it, but some of you guys did take it right there because Tiana over here, she locked in. Yeah, 380, and then Tam locked in 1,000 right there. So definitely, guys. And we're just gonna wait for this. I mean, there's not much for us to really look at right now, but we're just gonna wait for this. So the new low is set right here, which is fine. But yeah, price is pretty much bounced around this area. So it still hasn't crossed above here. You know, once it does cross above here, that's when we can expect it to possibly shoot up a bit higher. So I'm not entering any buys right now. I'm waiting for it to actually push up. It's still at 69%. Looking at the Dow index over here, it's at about 27 points in the positive. But we'll see what goes on from here. Nice work, everybody. Hey, Deswell, morning. Yeah, Jody mentioned looks like it's about to pivot. I can see that too. That's pretty much what I'm waiting for. I'm not trying to hop into any sells right here because I could definitely see it reversing at some point soon. I feel like this was a fake out. Price got close to this area, but it didn't cross above it. So that's why it came right back down. So I'm going to wait for that confirmation for it to cross above it before I actually, you know, think about actually entering it. So see what happens from here. All right. Nice. So this closed below. We're probably going to see a bounce around from this area. So this is why I recommend not to take this this snipe entry right here, Nico, because of how it's moving. You want to wait for that confirmation before you actually hop into this stuff. Nice work, Deswell. Deswell said made over 3K for a quick scalp today. Now I'm done, looking to make 1,500 a day. Yeah, I know. Same with me here, guys. That's why I'm already up 2,800, 2,830 for the day. So I'm not really, you know, I don't feel a pressure to take any trades right now. If I see something good, I'll take it. But you know, obviously we don't see something good right now. Yeah, so pretty much gonna wait for this here. It's probably gonna consolidate a bit before it swings back up, but there's just no confirmation of any entries yet at this point. Going to the 3-minute over here. All right, we got a pending buy signal here on the 3-minute. Let's see. Yeah, short scene said it's on an uptrend on the 5-minute time frame. I can see that. Yeah, I mean they're about the same. Like they're all trying to like bounce back up, but we'll see what happens from here. You know, I'm waiting for these areas here to get crossed. As price continues to drop further, I'm just going to keep dropping liquidity areas, like areas where I see stop losses being placed. And then from there, that's going to be fine because we could pretty much time it from that point. See the retail traders over here. I could still see that they're still trying to trap some more retail traders in here. It's only at 69%. Thing is, they're not going to make enough money if like, or I mean, they're going to make good money, but they're not going to make what they're looking for unless they meet their quota, right? They need enough. They need a certain amount of people on that sell side before they can spike it up. I mean, they've been spiking it up right here, but it's not far enough for us to have the confirmation to actually take it further. All right, here's the waiting game now. It's the worst part of trading. We got news coming up in about 8 minutes. So I wouldn't take any trades right now, guys. We have medium news coming up in 8 minutes. We have the preliminary UOM consumer sentiment. So I would recommend just sitting out of the market until this is done. Wait to see how the market reacts to this. But if it goes towards the upside, then, you know, we'll hop in for that. If price crosses below here, this is completely fine. We're just going to draw another area of liquidity right here. And a lot of people have been asking me, what are these areas of liquidity? These areas of liquidity are places where people are placing their stop losses. The only reason I know this is because this is how most retail traders trade. This is also how I used to trade, you know, a long time ago. Basically, if you see a drop like this and you enter, where is your stop loss going to be? It's going to be at the previous swing, right? So if I turn everything off right here, this is the previous swing. That's why I've drawn a line right there, because when price crosses that area, then a lot of people's stop losses are going to get triggered. Same with down here, right? Price comes below and then it bounced back up here. So this would be the next swing high right here from this downtrend. So again, right here, price came up, came down, came up right here. And here's another area of liquidity. So what I'm anticipating, and you guys have seen it from like all of the previous days, is when price passes these areas, like when it crosses above it, this right here and this right here, you're going to see a spike of volatility. You're going to see like price spike up. It's probably going to wake up and then it comes back down. And then as it comes back down, people enter more sells, and then it spikes back up further, and then it causes a reversal to happen. right? It does something like that, and then it just pushes up higher. So this is basically what I'm anticipating right here. I'm just pretty much predicting where people's stop losses are so that I know that that's where liquidity is sitting, so that when I do enter for the opposite way, this will be the confirmation that price is starting to reverse and it's starting to shift in the opposite direction. And then also I want to make sure that I have a, my setup here lines up with my actual entry. I'm not just going to enter, like, I'm not going to identify this as a low and then enter that and write it up. I'm going to wait for that confirmation. Like, I need price to be above the pivots, and I also need that bullish signal to confirm for a scalp for myself. So I'm not just entering a random trade. Let's see. Josh said caught another 200 buy. Caught the whole wick on the 1 minute. Nice. Yeah, solid work, Josh. I mean, a lot of you guys here, you guys are free to take risk if you want. If you guys want to catch it as it swings back and forth, when price reaches these areas here, you guys are more than welcome to. It's just, for me, I'm like a little more conservative because I'm already in profit 2,800 for the day. So I don't want to go and take one dumb trade and then end up losing that profit just because I wanted to be in the trade. But it's solid. If you guys want to take it, you guys can. There's no problem with that. Nice work looking at Josh's markup over here. Josh mentioned that he saw a strong oversold confirmation off that right there, and he hopped in for that wick. So definitely, and he uses the RSI as well. RSI works pretty fine off of US 30 since it's a directional asset. Okay, let's see. Yeah, looking at this over here, you can see that it's starting to bounce back up, right? So what we're looking for, like, our main key areas are going to be right here, and then above here as well. And this is exactly why we wouldn't have taken this trade right here, Nico, because you can see that price is still dropping down. You guys can see here what I marked up earlier. It played out exactly like I mentioned, right? I said after this candle, price will either correct back up to where it originally was, or it's going to drop even further. And look what happened. It dropped exactly to where I drew the arrow. So now it's probably going to bounce back up from here. Or, I mean, it's already touched it. So it's probably going to bounce up from this point. We'll see. I mean, there's no guarantee it's going to bounce up from there, but it's looking like it, right? Let's see where the retail traders are right now. 70%. So you can see that people are still hopping on. These are bandwagoners, right? They see it dropping. So what happens? They hop in for that sell as well. You don't want to be a bandwagoner. You want to just wait for the confirmation. Cool. So let's see what happens right here. There you go. See that area that I was just talking about? It's reaching the area of liquidity. We could probably expect a spike up from this point. I'll probably hop in for actually, no, it's not a scalp because it didn't break and close above all of the pivots. So it's technically not a scalp on the 1 minute over here. But see how I mentioned right here, when it crossed up to this point, see the liquidity where it spiked up? Because what happened was it triggered people's stop losses. Like, you guys have probably heard where people say, oh, the market makers are going on a stop loss hunt, right? This is the stop loss hunt that they're referring to. It's just that they don't know how to analyze it from this perspective. This is the stop loss hunt because this is where retail traders have their stop losses. So they're going to hunt, they're going to hunt all these stop losses here. They're going to spike it up. And then once it reaches this point, they're going to hunt all these stop losses as well. And it's just going to push up even higher, and then it reaches up over here. This is where the full stop loss hunt happens right there. So I'm sure you guys have heard that before. You hear people get mad and they're like, oh, the market makers are on a stop loss hunt. Exactly. That's what they're doing. That's where the areas of liquidity are. So you can see right here, this nice bullish candle. I'm not going to take that one. I'll probably take this 3 minute if it closes. I would need it to close above the pivots over here. But it'll be perfectly fine because, like I mentioned earlier, this is an area of liquidity, like I mentioned a few seconds ago, above there. So I need this to close bullish. It needs to close bullish with the buy signal. Once it closes bullish with the buy signal, I'll probably hop in for a quick low buy. The only problem is that we have news coming up in about 2 minutes, like I mentioned earlier. So I don't know if I would enter this trade because we might see a spike in price within the next 2 minutes or so due to the news, because it's medium impact US news over here. Yeah, so we'll I'm probably gonna hold off on it. Like I mentioned, I don't need to take any risky trades today because are you doing pretty good so far overall. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens from this point. Ken, these aren't SR zones, but if I do use SR zones, I use the same time frame that I'm trading on. But these aren't SR zones; these are liquidity areas. These are the areas of liquidity where I'm identifying where a lot of retail traders are placing their stop losses. So just keep that in mind. I know they look like zones because they're the same color, but these are not really zones. They're yeah, I should just change it. No, I'm gonna leave it. But yeah, maybe I should change the color so that you guys can. No, this might throw you off if I change the color. I'll just leave it like that. But just keep in mind that these aren't zones. These are just areas of liquidity. So news is coming in about 10 seconds. I'm hoping this doesn't close with the buy signal because it's just going to screw up our whole analysis right here. Unless it closes above. If it closes above, that's cool. If it doesn't, then I'm not. Okay, so it kind of screwed up our analysis right there because in order for us to take this as a buy, price would have needed to close above here. And it's not going to happen. So it looks like we would need it to push above here, retrace back, and then catch it as it pushes up even further. But yeah, here's the area of liquidity that I just mentioned earlier. See right here on the 1 minute, how I mark this up. There you go. It's going for the stop loss hunt. Again, from this point right here, it'll probably push up even higher. If it crosses above here and closes, then you can expect it to push up even higher. I'm tempted to enter this for like a small lot and then just write it up, but I'll probably do that actually. Actually sounds pretty solid. I just don't want to get greedy here. All right, I guess I'll just write it up for a little bit. Smaller, like nothing too crazy because I do expect it to come up. So I'm just taking a speculative buy right here. Reason for that is because it's reaching these liquidity areas that I marked up earlier. There's no official entry because it doesn't fit any of the requirements. This is kind of just me taking a speculative buy here. So this is like, I mean, if you guys want to follow, this is basically what I'm looking for. I'm anticipating it to push up even higher from this point. But this is all speculation, right? There's no official entry here. There's nothing really follow here. This is only going off the analysis that we identified. These liquidity areas being hit. Looking at the sentiment, still 70% short. It's completely fine. But yeah, we'll just have to follow and see what happens from here as we continue on further. But see, this is why I was mentioning not to enter the trade because we're going to see some crazy movements like this going on. And there's also, I forgot about the news as well. So thankfully, I took a smaller lot size and I'm just playing around with it for a speculative trade for the most part. So we'll just watch it here as it bounces around. But I only took a small lot, so it's not really a big deal for me. But I don't recommend you guys take it. It's like I was mentioning, wait for an actual entry to appear. Yeah, Dion said that the news was negative. Okay, good to know, Dion. Let me check the actual news over here. Should have updated by now. Yeah, super negative. Or it's not super negative. It was they were anticipating it to be slightly below. 85.5 was actually 80.8. So we'll see what happens from here. Generally, for something like that, they can use that as leverage to drop price and then just charge it up for another spike back up. But we'll obviously we're going to see what's going to happen from here, and then from that point we can determine what type of trade we decide to take if there becomes another one that's available. Yeah, definitely nothing right now. So just be careful, guys. Like I mentioned, don't enter anything until you have like an actual confirmation of an actual entry. There is no entry here available yet. So this was following the news. Obviously, the news happened. It was negative. It spiked down, but then I anticipated to spike back up as well. So looking at this here, I'm just gonna delete this stuff right here because we already identified that liquidity area, right? We saw where it spiked up. Now the new liquidity area is going to be over here because those stop losses were already triggered. So the new area would be right here. When price reaches this point right here, you can expect some sort of volatility spike to the upside. It's got to cross above here, but we'll have to wait and see how, obviously how that one plays out. So going back to the 3-minute over here, see how I mentioned right here, it wasn't an actual entry. And that's why we decided not to hop into this right here. Because if you hop into this buy right here, you would have gotten screwed as it came all the way back down. But if you waited for it, this would be the confirmation that it's not ready yet. So that's pretty much that. We're just going to wait for it to swing back up now. And then as it swings back up, we can determine, what direction we plan on taking this. So see what happens from here. All right, there you go as it swings back up. Now it looks like it's going to recover from the news. But our main key area to look out for would be this area right here. Once price reaches this area, we can expect it to probably shoot up even higher. But right here, it looks like price is just going to keep bouncing around until it gets that, confirmation back up. Obviously, you can see right here, I'm anticipating some more sellers to hop back in. But right now, it looks like a lot of traders are just scared to enter the market right now. They are, they're just waiting, it seems like, waiting for an actual move. So let's see. So the thing with this right here is that there's going to be two types of traders. There's going to be traders like us waiting for it to break above. And there's going to be other traders, like other retail traders. What they have is they have sell limits right here, right? So when price reaches this point, they enter the sell limit and then it pushes it back down. Like you see a spike down and it fails to break above. So that's why sometimes you see right here, like this right here, see this spike down right here? The reason for this is because there's a lot of retail traders who are entering sell limits right here. So they see price come up, and then when price comes up, they see this as like a strong high. So when they see it as a strong high, they spike it down. And obviously the market makers and institutions spike it down with them to give them some sort of confidence that price is going to drop. Once enough retail traders have been trapped into this sell over here, then they spike it up for real. But yeah, at this point, I mean, we're just waiting for some sort of confirmation for it to reach up this area here. And then we could possibly take this for another entry if available. But yeah, I'm just waiting for confirmation. And this market is kind of slow right now. It's a lot slower than I was anticipating for a Friday. Nice. Yeah, Ken said we're at Asia high now. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So it's a game of patience, guys. Just gotta wait now. Wait for this to swing up. But I definitely don't see it dropping too much. I mean, I see it dropping, but not like too much. 7 o'clock. Still got about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 6 hours till market close. So going back to the 10-minute chart over here, you can see that it's still bouncing around, right? Not very much going on. It's kind of just a back and forth movement. So we'll have to we just got to be patient with it. So guys, don't like impatiently jump into random trades, right? Only enter a trade if you see something actually there, because you guys, the last thing you want to do is get caught up in a bad trade, especially on a Friday. And if you're funded, you can't hold trades into the weekend, so you'd have to close out by then. But I think my trading view's frozen. Let me check this real quick. Okay, it's back up. There we go. All right, let's see what's going on over here. And yeah, looking at how like everyone else has done today, like here's a profit from this morning. So as you guys can see the timestamp, there's quite a bit of people here who locked in some solid profits overnight and during London session. So just looking at the saved profits right here, obviously these are my profits, but I'll scroll up to here. Here's Tam locked in 1,000. Tiana over here locked in 380. Angela locked in 200 right here. And Cheryl locked in 940. So obviously you can see like not too many people are trading, but a decent amount of people are trading and locked in some solid profits. Patricia here as well, 1,120. And if you guys want to send more profits, just send them over and I can add them to the list over here. But for the most part, like I mentioned, right now is not really the time to take unnecessary risk. I would just wait for some sort of confirmation. Nice work, Tiana. So Tiana actually locked in 556. So she went from 380 to now she's up 556. Nice work, Tiana. She took that little buy right there. She locked about 67 bucks off that, added on to there. Tommy over here as well. Tommy's up 1,770. Nice work, Tommy. All right, so you guys are doing pretty solid. Abraham here as well. Abraham's up 359. So Abraham said, I'm small today. I'm good. Yeah, so a lot of you guys, if you guys don't have to trade, I don't recommend you guys trade. If you guys made profit today already, you know, it's probably safe to just call it a day because of how the market's moving. So I'm still in my speculative buy, the one that I took over here earlier. I probably should have waited a little longer to take it. I kind of entered on this area, I think. So I'm currently in some drawdown, but it's a small lot size, so it's not really you know, I'm not really worried about it. Kind of just letting, I could literally just let it run for the entire day and then just wait for it to come up, because I think eventually it's going to come back up. It's just going to take some time. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what we're looking for here. 709 right now. Let's see, retail traders are still 70% short. Looking at the daily today, so the daily's up 24 points. Looking at the stock index over here for the Dow 30, stock index is still majority green. There's about 2 stocks here that are red, or there's a couple more actually. It's starting to shift to the downside. We got Goldman Sachs down 3 points, Walt Disney down 2 points, Boeing down 1 point, Chevron down 1 point, Dow down 1 point, International IBM down 1 point, and JP Morgan down 1 point. Looks like that news earlier affected the market. It pushed price a little bit down, so it's probably going to take some time for it to swing back up. But you know, like I mentioned, I do expect it to swing back up eventually. Maybe not now, maybe not anytime soon, but definitely eventually I do see it swinging back up. So let's see what happens from here. Yeah, this thing's starting to spike down like super heavy. Look at this thing, went through the freaking floor. So yeah, this is why we're waiting for it, right? This is why you guys got to wait for it to come back up, but it just broke right through the floor right there. Let me go ahead and mark this up right here. Let's see where this is sitting over here. Yeah, this is why I recommend that you guys just like chill out for today, because just how the market's moving, right? It's just moving super crazy right now. But we'll see. We're still waiting for that reversal to happen, which is possibly going to happen. It looks like they're going to stack on some more sells right here. Let's see, 70%. We'll see how this increases in the next couple of minutes or so. You know, obviously, if you see something like this drop, what usually happens, people hop right in, right? They bandwagon onto these trades because they see it drop and they're like, oh, this thing's going to have to drop even further. So what happens is they enter more trades, and then from there, you know, obviously we're going to see where it spikes up from here. But who knows? It might not even spike up today. This is why I'm not messing with the market, because it is Friday. Plus, everything's kind of pointing in opposite directions. Retail traders are short. The fundamentals were bullish at the beginning. And then looking at the daily data over here, it's now in the red. So we'll see what happens from here. But I don't see it dropping too much. I mean, I see it dropping because they need to keep stacking up some more sells. But eventually, I think either by the end of today, if not next week, early next week, it'll spike back up. But I don't think it's going to keep dropping. I think they're just waiting to pretty much pack in some more sellers right here, because this number just keeps fluctuating. Earlier today, it was, or yesterday, it was at like, I think close to like 75%. And that's why you can see right here during the entire session yesterday it just kept going up higher and higher, right? Or not yesterday, from London up until now. So like from this time over here, from London over here, actually only from Asia. So like from Asia session over here, all the way up, you can see how it spiked up because the sentiment was super low. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to fall into this over here for this trap. If you guys are thinking about entering some sells, I think it's very risky to enter some sells right now. So I wouldn't chase this move right here, guys. What I would do is I would just keep identifying where the swings are, because when the swings come up, that's where you're going to see the stop loss hunt happening. This is just it's way too risky to enter right here. And was the news that bad? Let me check. I mean, it was pretty bad. It was, but I didn't think it was gonna be that bad to push it that far down. It went from 86.5 to 80.8. So see what happens from here. Yeah, Abraham said, damn, that ridiculously, that's ridiculously dropped. It was tempted to hit sell, but I closed my MT4. It's risky. Yeah, you know, right here you can see that it's starting to provide that bottom wick. So So you can see it started, it's attempting to establish a low somewhere over here. Somewhere at this point. But we'll, yeah, Ken said now it's at Asia low, bro. Yeah, it's still bouncing around here. Just waiting for this to come around from this point. I short seen, I only took a one lot, so I'm not really that. It's probably like less than 1%. Because so like for example, let's see, this only dropped because I don't have it set to percentages. It only dropped, so I'm probably down like maybe a little under 1%. Because the thing is, this right here is when I take a 10 lot, this would be considered 10%, right? So since I'm only doing a one lot, this is technically only like 1% right here, because it's like a tenth of what I normally trade. So it's not really down that much. You know, that's why I took a smaller lot size, because I can literally just let it run. And you know, the most I can let it drop to is 10%, right? Because that's my max daily loss for FTMO. So, you know, using that as a benchmark. So I'll just show you how far I can hold this until I have to like really pull it out. So I can literally hold this. So here, I'll just show you the percentages from this short scene. This would be 1%. This would be 2% down here. So that'd be like 2,000 or even less, maybe less than 1%. I think I'm probably like a half percentage down. I would literally, I can hold this down to like a 10,000 pip drop, right? Which would have to be like way down here for me to like have to close it without reaching the daily loss. So I'm like kind of far from all this area over here. You know, this is why I mentioned in the beginning, I said, if you guys want to take this trade, take it with the smaller lot size or just don't take it at all. You know, and if you use proper risk, you could basically hold on to it for the entire time. You just got to lower your lot size. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, if you guys want to take a risky trade, just lower your lot size. Use half or use a tenth of your lot size if you really want to enter a trade. And then from there, you can literally hold on to it for a long time, because you took like a tenth of what you would normally trade from there. Nice. Ken said he took the 3-minute sell. So there's a 3-minute over here. Nice. So Ken probably locked in some nice profit off this right here. 25. Yeah. He dropped that 25 right there. So it's a quick move, Ken, that you caught for that one right there. And this thing shot right through Jeff's like pivot down there. Well, we'll see what happens from here. And it's fine if it doesn't come back up, I'll just close it for a loss, because like I mentioned, you know, my risk is like so low where I can literally hold this for like the entire. Here, I'll show you again real quick. I'll show you in the higher time frame. Actually, it's probably easier for you guys to see. So let's see the entry point that I got. Let's show you the Zoom thing. The entry point that I got was about 35,050. So if I mark it up from here, 35,050. Like, in order to reach my daily loss for FTMO, I can literally hold it down to here. But obviously I'm not going to hold it this far, right? I'm not going to go and risk 10% just for this like risky trade here. If it gets too low, then then I'll just close it out. I'll just eat my loss. But I'm just showing you guys, like, using proper risk, this is how much you can hold it till. See, a lot of people like to use too big of a lot size. If you use too big of a lot size, you can only hold it to like X amount. But if you use a really, really small lot size, this is how far technically how far I can hold it personally, because I'm on a 200K. So I literally could, and I'm on a one lot. So each pip is only worth like $1, right? So my max loss would be 10,000 for the day. This is how much I can lose before I have to pull out. But you know, you guys can see just by looking at the chart, it's not going to drop this far down. Like, this is like a crazy movement for it to drop that far down. You can see here it's starting to swing back up at this point. See that right there, big wick. It might just end up swinging all the way back up from here, but who knows? Like, we just really don't know where it goes from that point. But yeah, if you guys need help with risk management, understanding your lot sizes, you know, just pop in the question so I can help you guys out, because I can see a lot of you guys here are like confused as to like how I'm able to do this, it's because I took a smaller lot size. Normally I take a 10 lot, but I took a 1 lot, like I mentioned before the entry, because I had a feeling that the market was going to move kind of funky, right? And here you go, it's starting to swing back up. So I'm literally just waiting for it to come back to break even or even slightly above it. And then I'm pretty much just going to pull out and be done for the week. But even like this drop right here. So like, let's see where it currently is right now. So as I mentioned earlier, I was already in profit 2080. So in order for me to get to break even for the day, because I was already in profit before the session, price would need to cross below this area right here. So if price crosses below this area, then I'm at break even. So this is like my threshold. Even though I can hold way down there, if I get to break even, I'm probably going to pull out because I'm like, okay, I just didn't make money on Friday, rather than holding on to it and praying that it'll come back up. So this is going to be my personal stop loss area, because obviously I'd rather close the day with some profit than close the day with nothing, or close the day with a loss, right? I don't care if I close the day with no profit because we'll just make it back tomorrow, but I'd rather close it than have a loss. So like, yeah, just looking at this point right here, this is pretty much what what I'm anticipating. So we'll see what happens from here. But yeah, just like I mentioned, this is like an area where I can hold it to and not really worry. This is why it's important that you guys use proper risk, especially on a Friday. Let's see. Ken said took a speculative buy at this Asian low, stop at break even. Now let's see. Yeah, I could definitely see it bouncing from this point, Ken. And it's also bouncing off a lot of these little areas right here, off the 10 minutes. So it's bouncing off that. Looking here on the 3 minute, you can see that it's starting to, I mean, it looks like it's starting to reverse slightly from that point. And then also we hear off the 1 minute. All right, so it's 7:20 right now. I'll probably hang on for another 20 minutes or so. If you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I can answer any questions that you guys have. But I pretty much explained, my position here and how far I plan on holding it, if I do plan on holding it, to, for the most part, just pull out of the trade. And there was no trade that was available. So just keep that in mind, guys. There was no trade that we had, like no official trade. That was just a speculative trade from earlier because we saw it crossing through the liquidity areas that we marked up. So yeah, I don't think anyone here is really in any positions at this point. Just looking at the chat over here, I think all you guys pretty much posted up. Damn, Tiana's up 940 now. Nice work, Tiana. Yeah, no, I can see that, Jeff. I have it on my chart too. So yeah, definitely I can see that right there. Tommy said, hello, Shawn, update me. I don't know how his Zooms are. Your Zoom should not be behind. Tommy, is anyone here having a Zoom that's like behind? It might be your internet connection, Tommy. Anyone else? Zoom. Here. Damn, Joshua said that. Yeah, today's it's got to be a little. It's got to be a little. You guys got to be careful today. Tommy said, yeah, "That's a different time." Yeah, no, I know it's not you, Tommy, because your name has your last name here. But yeah, I don't think anyone else here is having any issues. Brittany here is well locked in 648. Nice work, Brittany. You're in the Zoom and not the YouTube. It's delayed. The Zoom is real time. Oh man, Rick. Anyway, you gotta use proper risk, bro. Mentioned you guys to take smaller lot sizes right there. But yeah, it's still dropping right here as we speak. Another area of liquidity would be right here. Yeah, I don't know if anyone could help Tommy. I think, Tommy, you're in here, but I don't see you responding to the messages. See, Tommy, I do see you in the group over here. Actually, you're not even here, Tommy. Yeah, you might be in the wrong in the YouTube, Tommy. Make sure that you're on the YouTube and not, I mean, you're on the Zoom, not the YouTube. Yeah, Ken mentioned when tech and US 30 moving, same manipulation to the max. Exactly. Yeah, because tech usually moves. It doesn't always move opposite, but it usually doesn't move alongside with it. But yeah, it's 7:30 right now. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop in, and then we can see what happens from there. But like I mentioned over here, guys, if you use proper risk, I'm still like so far from the area where I need to pull out if I wanted to. But if I need to, I will. But like I mentioned, my risk, I can literally hold on to 10,000 move down here to reach my daily loss. But obviously, I'm not going to do that. So you can see it's not going to risk down there. It's not going to drop down there. It's like nearly impossible for it to drop all the way down here. You never see a 10,000 pip move in one session, unless it's like COVID. I know COVID is kind of getting a little more hectic over here in LA. In LA, they're going to be implementing the mask mandate again. So I think here in LA this weekend, people are going to have to start wearing their masks. So I mean, that's probably going to affect the market as well. Probably not as heavily as like the other news, but it's going to affect the market as well. So let's see if there's any other questions here. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we're just going to be waiting for any possible entries here. But I don't really see anything happening. I think let's see, Jeff sent me a photo. Let's see what Jeff is profits for the day. Oh, he sent me his screenshot over here, his markup. Yeah, I know. I saw it, Jeff. I have it on my chart too. Nice. Jay locked about 118 for the day. Nice work, Jay. Tommy said, which color is the right zoom? Riga said, Shawn, looking back on your trade of the day today, would you do anything differently? Yeah, I wouldn't have taken the trade. I would have listened to my own advice. The only reason I took that trade up there was because we were taking a speculative trade, like I mentioned. But I took it with a smaller lot size. So anything different would just be not taking the trade, because I already I even told you guys not to take the trade, but I still took it for a smaller lot size. But it's fine because I took it for a lot size that isn't really going to affect my account at all. Like I mentioned, the risk is 1/10 of what I normally trade, because I normally trade a 10 lot, but I traded a 1 lot. So it's not really, instead of me risking like 10,000 for that trade, I'm risking like 1,000, which is not very much from that point. Yeah, exactly. Short scene, right? It is crazy how price is moving. I still think that they're still trapping in some more sellers, to be honest. Like for me, see right here, you can see it went up from 70 to 72. It was like 68, then went up to 70, now it's 72. They're still trying to just pack in some more sellers. As they pack in enough sellers, that's how they make the money, spiking price all the way back up. But obviously I'm not going to take that risk here. See, we can mark up this as another liquidity area as well. So what I'm doing right here is I'm pretty much marking up the swings. So as price pretty much swings, because it's coming down, because all the retail traders are short. When it swings back up, I mark up the swings, swings back up, mark up the swings, swings back up, mark up the swings, et cetera, et cetera. I'm marking these up right here so that when price ends up, shooting up from wherever it is, it can definitely, help the position out. So I might even stack more positions as it comes back up further, but we'll see. Sam said, I also took a 1 lot on a 100K account. Would you say that's good risk management? I mean, if the thing is, I'm on a 200K, Sam. So like the 1 lot for me it's like perfectly fine. But for you on 100K, you probably should use half of that as well. I mean, depending on how risky you want to, depending on how risky you want to be, you can take that. But I mean, for the most part, you should probably be using half of what I'm using. If you want to have that big, like that big leeway, that big safety net below it. So, I mean, you're fine with the 1 lot, but you're still gonna be risking a lot more than compared to me, right? Because the thing is, for me, so like just for example, since I'm on a 200K account, you divide 1,000 by 200,000, right? 1,000 by 200,000. I'm risking a 0.05% for my trade there. For you, you're gonna be risking about 1%. Because if you're risking 1,000 divided by 100,000, you'll be risking about 1%. So for you, you should probably want to use less for a risky trade like this. If you're taking a normal trade that's like not that risky, then yeah, it's fine to take a 1. But if you're taking one where you're kind of just taking a trade, but not really hopping into anything, like you're not hopping into an actual entry, then I would go lower. Because for this is just a speculative trade here where you don't have any entries that are available. It was just you just see it reaching these liquidity areas. Rab's asking if we think it'll come back up. I mean, we're marking this up, Rab. We're waiting for it to provide those areas there. If it reaches this point right here, then yeah, it'll probably have a spike up even further, but not yet. That's why I'm over here marking up all of these swings right here, so that when you see the swings, that's when you can expect it to swing back up. But just looking at the retail traders over here, you can see the number just fluctuates, right? Whenever it retraces, people just get stopped out, but it's not really retracing as much right now. Yeah, definitely, Patricia. See you next week. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Let's see. Nice, Sandra Center profits over here. Nice work, Sandra. So it looks like you're up about, you're doing pretty good. So looking at Sandra's trades over here, Sandra traded a US 30 and some gold trades and some NASDAQ trades. So Sandra's up a total of, let's see, 1%. You're up about maybe 2 or 3% right now. You have a total of 46 euros in profit. So definitely really good off that, Sandra. And right here, total. So Sandra over here is up a total of 597 right now. So pretty solid right there. But yeah, Patricia, I'll see you guys next week. So yeah, whoever's logging off already, if you guys don't have to trade, I recommend just calling it a day. But yeah, for the most part, price is starting to swing back up right here. But obviously all these retracements right here as it swings up, this is there really is going to be a good confirmation until it crosses above here. Right, when it crosses above here, this is where you'll see areas of liquidity, and you'll probably see some sort of spike up. So looking at the retail traders over here, it's at 71. Looking at the fundamentals over here, the fundamentals shifted to the downside. Now it's down like 100 points. It was because of that big spike right there. Like we mentioned earlier, the news earlier kind of spiked price down. We had the preliminary UOM consumer sentiment. It was pretty red. It was down like 5 points more than it was previously. And then looking at this right here, you can see prices starting to cross above this area where we marked up earlier. But we're going to wait for it to close above here. If it closes above here, then this is where we're going to start to see a bit of a spike to the upside. All right, so it's 7:32 right now. I don't really see any more questions. If you guys have questions, this is probably the best time for you guys to let me just sorry, I'm talking about the admins over here right now. All right. We'll look solid right here. Yeah, look, I'm looking at everyone else's profits. So like CC over here. Let's see, you locked in a nice profit over here. I'm going to copy this over right here. Second Sisu. Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, looking at this over here. So these are the profits that CSUK made over here. CSUK made about 1,681 for the day. Nice work, CSUK. No losses for you. And then again, right here on his other account, 1,287. And then, yeah, obviously you saw Sanders profits that I mentioned a little while ago. Let's see. Short scene said, I think you will close the trade, Shawn, because of FCMO rules not allowed. Yeah, no, exactly. I'm not going to hold on to it over the weekend. That's why I'm just waiting for it to possibly swing up. If it doesn't swing up, it's fine. I take a small loss. It's still going to be within my area right here. Because the thing is, if price reaches this point right here, then I'm going to be at break even for the day. Because, you know, like I mentioned, my profits from earlier that I added up, this is where I'm currently at. I'm at about this much because I made about 2,800, whatever, around that area. So if price gets to this point right here, because I took one lot, I'll be the negative about 2,800. So if it reaches this point, I'll just pull out and I'll break even for the week, or not for the week, for the day. But it's fine because we made enough profit during the week, so we're pretty much solid overall. This is just a small little setback for today. Unfortunately, I should have just followed my own directions and not traded. But I did hop into that speculative buy for a small lot, and obviously this is the situation that I'm in right now. So, this just goes to show that even though I have my own advice and I give you guys the advice, sometimes I don't even follow it myself, because it just looked like such a good trade, right? But it's all good as long as you guys use proper risk. You guys can make mistakes. It's fine to make mistakes as long as you guys don't make mistakes enough to like blow your account. You guys got to understand risk management. That's one thing that a lot of people don't get down. For me, I was smart about it. If I entered a full lot, then I would have been down heavily right here and I would have had to pull out a long time ago. But looking at, the risk that I decided to take, because I knew it was Friday and it was also a risky trade because there was no actual entry, I took a smaller lot size. And, that's pretty much just, that's what it is, what it is. That's what the market does. Market gives you something, you got to play with it. You got to figure out to swing it in your favor. But yeah, if price reaches this point right here, short scene, this is where I'm going to pull out, because I'll just be break even for the day. Pretty much just threw away my profits from last night, which is not a bad, it's not a big deal. As long as I'm not in the negative for the week, that's the main thing to be looking out for. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Peter said when you close it, watch it shoot up. That's usually what happens, right? You close it and then it ends up shooting up like crazy. Yeah, exactly. Short scene. Yeah, it happens. It's just how the market works. Like, you guys can't get caught up on like one trade. And especially if you guys, as long as you guys use proper risk, you guys can eat losses whenever they happen. But we don't really have that many losses. But like I was just mentioning earlier, this isn't an official trade because there was no strategy that was used for this. We just saw it as it swung up and then we hopped in. Well, I hopped in, not everyone did. Because I'm looking at everyone's profits here. Everyone's like pretty much in the green. I don't think anyone else here took it with me, but for the most part, it looks like everyone here is pretty much heavy profit right now. CSUK's up 1,681. His other account 1,287. Sanders up 595 on this account. He's up about 46 euros here. Jay's up 118 on his account. Brittany's up 648 over here. Tiana's up 940. Abraham's up 359. Tommy's up 1,770. Tiana again over here, 556. 750 right here. 550 right here. 510. So these are my accounts early that I was mentioning. I had 3 of these accounts right here, 3 funding telling accounts, and then these 2 FTMOs right here. So that's where I added the profits up. Tam over here up about 1,000. Tiana again over here 380. And you guys can see other people profit. A lot of people are already out of the market. I'm still hanging on to it because it's just, I'd rather reach until break even until than pull out too early and then it ends up spiking up, right? So that's why I'm just holding on to it. But I'm not really worried. If it ends up going down here and it ends up stopping me out, that's completely fine. I just end up at break even. It's not a big deal. Yeah, exactly. Riga said all USA news were positive. Only Michigan index was negative and keeps dropping without retracing down. Yeah, it's just how the market is, right? Today's Friday. So like you guys just keep in mind that Friday is usually the riskiest day to trade anyways. So everyone is at risk, like if you guys decide to trade today. So that's why, usually if you guys have been on the sessions with me on Fridays, I usually tell you guys that it'd be best to take a smaller lot size, like half lot size or even a tenth of a lot size that you normally take on a day like this, or a day when there's heavy news going on. Nice. William Williams said he passed phase 2 of a 200 account with the funded trader. So I'll let you know if they pay at the end of July. Yeah, hopefully they pay you out, William. You know, some of our members here in K2, they had an account with a funded trader and they were just winning too much and they ended up getting their account suspended. So one of our members here, you know, you guys will know who are the top traders in K2. The people who are the top traders are the people who are always making like the really big profits, like, you know, like Cheryl, Patricia, you know, everyone who's making like in the thousands every single day. So a couple of our traders here in K2, they were using the funded trader. They ended up winning too much and funded trader just suspended their account. And I don't think they're going to get their payout. So hopefully you get your payout, William. But, you know, a couple of our other traders here at K2 who tried out that funded company, they're not paying them out and they suspended their account. So we'll hopefully we'll see what happens from there. The Funded Trader is another funding company. It's just a copycat of FTMO and Funding Talent. Gently, if you're wondering, it's just another funding company I just started kind of recently. But they are, I mean, a lot of our traders here are having issues because I don't think they're able to pay out because, you know, like Patricia over here, you've seen like our top traders in K2, right? Our top traders in K2, they're making like, let me see if I can find, or I'll just go to Patricia's chat because Patricia sends her profits to me directly. So Patricia, you know, she's making about this much profit every single day, right? 5,000, you know, 9,000 right here for the day. So I think her payout for the month was like 40K. And then when she tried to do the payout, they just suspended her account for this over here. I mean, it's unfortunate, but, you know, this is why I stick to FTMO because I've never had problems with them ever. I've never had problems with them paying out. I've never had problems with them suspending my account or anything like that. It's been pretty solid overall. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are using Funded Trader, hopefully you guys get your payout. Yeah, what's up, Charlie? Charlie said, dumb question, bro. Couldn't you close and put 2 lots going up? So if it goes back halfway, you'll break even. Yeah, could have done that too, Charlie. That's exactly what you could have done. But so here's the thing, if it doesn't go up, then you end up losing double from there, right? So it would work if it does go up. But the thing is, there's no guarantee it's going to go up. And we're not for sure that it's going to go up yet because we don't have an actual entry here. If I saw like an entry here on the 3-minute or the 10-minute, like a real K2 entry, then I would have done it, right? But the thing with this over here is we don't have an actual entry, so I wouldn't have taken that trade anyways to the you know, to the upside. Let's see. Yeah, I know that Prince, that all other like I don't know about other funding. I think FTMO you actually does copy the trades, especially if you've been around for a long time. I've been with FTMO for like over a year now. So I'm sure if like you're consistent every month, then they start to copy your trades. But I know with Funded Trader, I'm not Funded Trader, Funding Talent, I know that they don't copy the trades. They, you know, their CEO actually came out and said they don't copy trades. They pay out from the challenges. So, you know, obviously if everyone here in K2 is winning, like you guys have been here for a while, you guys have seen that a lot of our members here lock in a lot of profit every day, right? So like looking at everyone's profits for the day, you know, if you add all this stuff up, like there's like 300 members here, right? There's like 300 or 500 members of us in K2. If all of us keep profiting every single day and everyone's using a funding company that doesn't necessarily copy the trades, you know, they're gonna have a big bill to pay at the end of the month. Because, you know, I know Patricia, she locked in about like 40K. I know Cheryl locked in around the same, like 30K. I think Tommy's about to make 30K this month too, and then I'm around the same area. You know, you have that many people that keep winning, they're not going to be able to afford to pay people out. So that's why they're having issues. But yeah, the Funded Trader, I don't have a website for it, but you can just look it up, Riga. So let's see the funded. It's called the fundedtraderprogram.com. I'm not going to post it here because I don't want to bad talk. I've never used them before, so I can't say exactly like how they work, but we have members here in K2 who have used them. This group right here at the Funded Trader. You know, they're having issues with paying. What seems like they're having issues paying out, but they pretty much targeted a couple of like the K2 members. There's like 5 members here, or who are having issues, not with just them, but like other funding groups. And, you know, obviously if we keep winning here, they're going to have issues with paying people out if they're not copying the trades. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I haven't used them myself, and I'm probably never going to use them, especially with the issues that have arose. But hopefully all you guys get paid out for who you guys are here in K2 who are locking all these, you know, these profits and whatnot. Yeah, no problem, Riga. So it's about 7:44, guys. I think I'm gonna log off for the day. Unless you guys have any other questions, I think I'm gonna call it a day. I have a lot of emails to get to. I have, like, let me check. I got about 300 emails to respond to today, so I got a lot of stuff to cover. And then I also got, man, I just got a lot of stuff to do today. So I think I'm gonna log off the session right now. I'll be following the trade. If I pull out, I'll let you guys know. Or if it reaches this point. So just remember this, this price point right here, guys. If price reaches 34,771, that's where I have my stop loss placed. This is for me to break even for the day because I was already up in profit 2,800. If I reach this area right here, I'll be in the negative 2,800. I'll basically just break even for the day, and I won't have any profits for Friday. But yeah, if you guys are wondering, that's where I have my stop loss placed. But other than that, I think you guys should just chill out for the week. Don't take any more trades because the way that the market's moving, right? The market's kind of just bouncing back and forth. You know, I do regret taking that trade earlier. You know, a bigger regret is that I hopped into the trade and there was no entry. If there was an actual K2 entry, then it would have been completely fine because I would have known that at least, you know, I followed some sort of strategy. For me, I just hopped into the trade because I saw liquidity areas getting hit. It was like a random speculative trade. But thankfully I took a smaller lot size to, you know, withstand the drawdown. So I'm still cool right now. It's fine if I break even for the day. That's fine. Whatever. I'll make it back on Monday. It's not a big deal. But yeah, other than that, have a great rest of your weekend, guys. And then I will catch you guys here on Monday. If you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to reach out via email. I have about 300 emails. So if you do email me today, you probably won't expect a response until Saturday, Sunday, a day or two for me to respond back to you. But if you guys message me on Telegram, I'll probably get back to you guys a little quicker. But other than that, I will catch you guys on market open next week. So I'll be in the Telegram if you guys have questions, but otherwise I'll try to keep you guys as updated as possible. So have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you guys back here on